What's up, guys? Welcome back to the latest episode of Barbells and Banter. So I hope you guys missed me after my little break. So in today's episode, we talked about muscle damage. Are D.O.M.S effective proxies to gauge workout success? Ben and I unpacked maybe some things that you would want to be looking at to gauge workout performance. We also talked a little bit more about programming, exercise selection, and then obviously, as always, you've got your fair bit of banter kind of jammed in between all of that. So if you like the episode, if you guys like the podcast, give us a follow, share the love, show the podcast and the message out to other people just like yourself. And as always, if you got any questions or comments, drop them and we'll be happy to field them for you. All right, let's get to the episode. So yeah, the anonymous question thing, I canned it. As soon as I pasted that, I waited like 60 seconds.
Weird shit.
And I fucking canned it. Yeah, because I was sick of the app is sending me shit questions.
Bullshit ones.
Yeah, the app bullshit questions, and then I was getting bullshit questions. So I canned it.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I was going to do it yesterday. I just ran out of time.
Yeah, nah. And then the app's just annoying. Just sends like push notifications all the time. I mean, I know I don't have to delete the app to turn them off, but it was the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I turned it off.
All right.
Maybe
So
I
go back
should
to old school.
I shouldn't have done it on Thursday.
In the gram.
Should have done it on another day, and I wouldn't have been upset.
Yeah, Thursday salt.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
real
long
thing.
week. It's a long week on the gram. Yeah.
It's a real thing, guys. Thursday salt is a real thing.
Yeah. I wonder if it really is. Like, if you could look it up.
We have a large enough
We've got our own evidence.
group
Got
to suggest
Why
that
does
it's
everyone
real.
feel really angry on Thursday?
empirical evidence.
Yeah.
You know what also is real? Man flu.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I got it last week. As
Yeah.
you guys
We
would
missed
know.
you.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll enjoy the podcast. We just talked about you for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. So fucking annoying.
Said how much we missed you.
No.
We were very kind.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's big. I'd like to think I'm a big presence, when there's only two of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes three.
Jess was pretty pumped to be in the chair, though, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she didn't mess up my groove because, like, when this person's smaller,
Yeah.
they just get
Yeah. She was just lost in the...
yeah. Yeah, it's not like if one of your, like, you wouldn't know you didn't have siblings, but if, like, my older brother wore my shit,
Yeah, that was
I'd be like, fuck, man, you stretched my t-shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, what'd you do that for? That used to be the worst.
Yep.
Or when Facebook, like, first came out, you'd see, like, everyone would post their photos, and then you just see, like, your brothers, like, wearing your shit, like,
clothes.
out, like, I was like, fucking dog. But yeah, I got the man flu hard.
Mm.
And you jinxed me on the.
How funny.
Yeah, no, I had a good laugh at that. I was listening to it while I was sick,
Fucking
or recovering.
Fucking Ben.
It's like, oh, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh man, tell you what, it's been a rough week.
I rang Dad yesterday, where I was
Yeah.
supposed to have a meeting today. And he was like, I was like, so how are you? He's like, nah, I'm still no good. I'm like, cool. So you're just staying in your bedroom tomorrow?
Oh
We're
yeah,
here for the podcast. He's like, I suppose. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going home to a pregnant wife. It's
yeah. No, yeah,
not just
Yeah.
me getting it. He's like, once I dropped that one, it's like,
yeah. You can play
your
that card.
grandchild's in danger. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll just sit in my bedroom and watch YouTube.
Yeah, I reckon three out of every 4 people I've spoken to lately have been sick in the last month.
Yeah. I'm hoping we've already had it. Because we got it in Queensland. We got something in Queensland.
Oh yeah, you got sick too. Oh, you
Yeah.
brought it over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's him. He was
There you
yeah.
Like 3 months ago.
Yeah, this guy. What are you called? Patient
Patient
X?
zero.
Oh, patient zero. That's you, dog. Infecting everyone from Queensland.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently. So have you ever looked into the man flu thing?
No.
Yeah. So I did. Obviously.
Of course you did.
It's like, am
I
I
have
being?
to justify
Yeah,
this.
it's like, am I being a pussy? It's like, yeah. So the concept of man flu is a bit of a meme because men get sick and they're like, oh, I'm fucking dying.
Yeah.
But apparently, like males and females have different immune systems based off, and they can suggest that it's due to certain hormone profiles and whatever. And women have a more efficient immune system to deal with viruses and whatnot, and they can, repel them and heal from them, recover from them quicker than men.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so then it went on a bit of a spiral, obviously. Like, it's like, oh, well, because it's a joke, like, men won't get the care that they need because people think that they're just, like, being, being sooks. And then it's like, because men are masculine, like,
Harden
they...
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just... And I was like, all right, this This has gone a bit too far.
Yeah. I want a justification, but now
It's like,
we've
yeah.
gone into victimhood.
I think I went on the wrong website for that. It was like the start was real good. It was like kind of scientific little citations.
And then Andrew Tate showed up, and it all went south.
I think the opposite of Andrew Tate showed up. It was just like stop making fun of them so they can get the care they want.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Andrew Tate would be like, "You don't have the flu. It's not real."
Yeah. Fuck.
But yeah, it's been a rough week.
He's off now.
He's out. Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Well,
Wild.
What do you mean?
it was on house arrest, and then they were just like, "Yeah, you can leave."
They arrested him again.
Yeah.
Like 6 weeks
I
ago.
think they were running out of time. I think there's like always
Yeah.
he always gets kind of detained or arrested just until they're like right at the end of the period where they're like, we have to arrest this guy for something.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. We have nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go.
Hey, Jane, come over here and
Yeah,
unanimously accuse this man of something.
Yeah. Fucking
Not
wild.
saying no pro or against.
Either way, neither would surprise me.
Yeah,
That's
I
where
agree.
I'm sit with it. I'm like, if it comes out and there's proof, I'm like, yeah. If it comes out that it's all conspiracy, I'm like, yeah. Like it's the same.
He's never going to live in peace from this day on.
I think, and he's someone who obviously refuses to as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But
What a character.
yeah, bad.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd kick off the podcast with a feel good story.
Hey,
Try and do that. Give people hope.
Yeah. Hope.
Yeah, but it's got nothing to do with fitness. So
Hope is the message.
So there's a surfer in Australia, and he found a Rolex on the bottom of the seafloor, and the particular type of Rolex was a Submariner. I don't know if you're into Rolexes, but it's supposed to be able to
Sounds expensive.
supposed to be able to use it
In the water.
in large depths. So this thing was mangled, right? No strap, like it had coral and shit fucking grown over it and stuff.
Been there for a while.
Yeah, but it was still working, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe
still-
Rolex put it there.
Hey,
marketing
this could be a
campaign.
publicity stunt, yeah.
Marketing campaign.
But the plot thickens, right? So
I'm such a fucking cynic. Jason's like, feel good story. I'm like, they planted it.
yeah. This guy's fucking got. He's got
zip it, man.
tinfoil. You got tinfoil tattooed on your
Yeah.
head.
Talk about cranky Thursdays. Fridays are another level.
Conspiracy Fridays.
So I'm bringing it back to the feel good part.
Right.
So he put this picture up on social media, like trying to find the owner of the watch.
Yep.
Apparently, it got onto some like news website and whatever. And then so the owner of the watch saw it, and there was like I think like an engravement or something on the watch, and they didn't show that in the pictures, obviously, because someone would be like, "That's my watch."
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and then they found the owner of the watch, and the owner of the watch, it was given to him by his dad.
Oh, that's cool.
So he was like really upset that he obviously lost the watch.
Yeah.
That was kind of as far as it went. I didn't like what, how'd you lose the watch? Like, how deep was it? But yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's like the power of the internet.
Did he give him a reward?
I don't know, but it did say that the watch was worth a lot of money. I was like,
Yeah.
good. Like this, maybe that guy didn't know that the watch was worth a lot. I don't know.
It's got Rolex.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Would you have a Rollie?
Would I have one?
Would you buy a Rollie
It's pretty low on the list.
of watch lists?
No, just of like, I've always been like the last thing I would buy is a boat.
Oh, boats are like the boats have overheads though. That's why.
Yeah.
A plane and a boat would be the last things for me because it's like the running costs are what
Yeah.
are expensive.
Yeah, and you can just fly private anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the boat's like the last step for me because I'm not. It's like for me. It's not a huge
Yeah. I don't like this
thing.
Can't
So
swim.
I would put like a watch, like a super expensive watch, not far away from that.
Really,
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah. I know you got into watches maybe for a while. I don't know if you still are.
I still am. It's just my bank balance suggests how many watches.
just got a much bigger house and much higher interest rates. I understand.
He just appreciates them for now.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the
Yeah.
thing about watches is that they don't lose value if you
Like
buy the right one.
Yeah, like we were meeting friends at Crown recently and were early, so I did the whole strip of
Yeah.
window shopping. Like I like to look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would just spend it.
Having a nice watch is good.
Yeah, like what's a legit
I reckon you can get into.
Rollie, like $250?
Oh, nah.
or start at 50?
No, you could get
No,
one
like-
for like 10.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah,
I was
15.
thinking like 20 grand.
Yeah,
Right.
10, 15. I reckon, like, because you've got to, like, ease your way into it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I bought, like, the first Mercedes, and it was, like,
Yeah.
the lower end, but the sport one.
Yeah.
And then the next one was, like, the entry-level AMG, and then the next one's going to be, like,
The big
bang.
dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to, like, ease your way in.
Yeah.
So I bought I think I would have bought an entry-level watch. I think it was about $5,000.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even buy it. It got given to me.
Yeah.
You
My
know.
most expensive watch is is it Jack?
Jag.
Uncle Jack?
Yeah.
Jack Rewald and what's his name from Richmond?
Yeah.
That's it.
No idea what that is. But
It's like $150.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah.
nice though.
But it's nice, you put it on and you only wear it at certain times. It's like nice, and it's got a nice leather band.
Yeah.
You only wear it when you have a nice outfit on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my thing.
I get it.
I know I could get rid of it for. I paid $5, I think. I reckon I could sell it. I think I saw it on a watch website. It was like $4.
Yeah.
$4.2. You
Yeah,
know, so
I 100% get it.
Mm.
Just not I just break shit.
Just don't spark it for you.
Yeah.
yeah. The most expensive watch I've ever put on was like $35,000.
Yeah.
So
Was
I
that
think
that? Was that story of?
I told you there's a story about when we got the rings done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the guy was like, I said, I wouldn't want to watch.
Charlie.
He's like, oh, yeah, I'll send you the watch. And then, put it on. And he's like, try my one. And I was like, oh, cool. How much is this? He's like, oh, it's probably worth $35K.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just swapped my friend for the week.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, you best be getting this shit
Here
off
you
my
go,
fucking
sir.
wrist, mate.
But
But it was sick. It was like an AP.
Yeah.
Like, it was fucking Royal Oak.
Yeah.
An AP Royal Oak.
we went into Tiffany's on 5th Ave in
Yeah.
New York, and Amy put on this diamond ring that I believe from memory was $40K US.
Ow.
So it's a car on her fingers.
Yeah, and he was just
Jesus.
like, it was just quiet. There was no one there, and we were like, we're literally just walking around, like,
Yeah.
and he would have looked at us and been like, you're not buying anything here,
Yeah.
especially in like tourist wear. It's not like
Yeah.
we were done up or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, he put it on her finger. Fuck, the thing was like the size of a fingernail, and as
Yeah.
deep as a finger. Just like Jesus,
Yeah.
and it looked really good.
Like, I'd have like an armed guard following Steph around everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes I think about Amy's rings, and I'm like,
Yeah.
if you had that as like in a bag of cash,
Yeah.
that would be the most terrifying day of your life. But you just accept it as a ring. It's weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's weird.
I think I'm more protective of Steph's rings than she is. I'm like, put them on. Like, if they're just like on the bench, I'm like, no, that goes in your finger, man.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
Like,
You lose that shit, I ain't replacing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or I'm replacing with fake ones.
yeah. Or she'll fucking be in the gym with it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, to be fair, I'm the opposite. Like, I don't have the
You never
tan
wear
mark.
yours.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I reckon I wear mine like 15 days a year for
Yeah,
about an
yeah.
hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I just went too gangster on the ring.
too heavy.
Yeah, I was like, I just want like big thick one, bro. And
Yeah.
then they put it on, and my eyes, a bit uncomfortable.
You know, if you wore it for like 3 days,
Yeah, I'd
you
get
wouldn't even notice
hypertrophy.
it anymore.
I get like finger hypertrophy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and finger strength. There'd be adaptations that happen over 6 weeks.
yeah.
That the repeated bout effect would repel my muscle soreness in my finger.
Mhm.
We're going to talk about muscle soreness today. But
Oh.
wait. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, we're going to, because there's 2 out of the 3 of us in this room that can barely fucking move.
Yeah, one of my clients, actually, a very well-trained client, messaged me. She's like, I had to skip the gym today. I'm too sore. I'm like, fuck, you must be real sore
Sent
for
it.
that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to low bar squats.
Oh, right. Yeah. Change up in the motor pattern causes DOMS. That
Yeah.
means she had a really effective workout, apparently.
And it was a very, very favourable position for her. So she lifted a lot.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, this feels fucking great. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it won't tomorrow now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take
You
it
gotta
when
love
it's
it.
there, Jace.
That's it.
Hey,
Take it when it's
gotta
there.
take it, because there's going to be times when it's not.
Those reels.
Like when you get man flu and you have
Liked
no
it.
training.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you come back, train extra hard, and you're crippled again.
Okay, I got man flu. No, you know what's funny? I didn't even do, like, I came back and I was like, I've had a whole week off, I've been sick, and I haven't eaten enough food. Right? So that's
Yeah.
the one thing I realized. So I was like, I'm not going to, this week's going to be dog shit. Like,
Yeah.
I just need to get through this week. You know, you just need to, like,
Do something.
slay a few dragons to get to the princess, you know? Like,
Yep.
this week is slaying dragons,
Yep.
you know? And it wasn't lifting heavy, whatever. And I just, everything I did, it's like got sore lats,
Yeah.
got sore arms, got sore shoulders.
Yep.
And then yeah, fuck, sore legs. I did like 2 sets of lunges. I did 2 sets of everything. And you know when you know your muscles are going to be sore during the workout?
Yeah, you can feel them.
Yeah, I was like, I'm fucked.
You can like feel the micro tears as you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like no hard sets.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we talk about like effective reps, I would have got like maybe 10 out of the whole workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't fucking move.
Fuck.
And that was Wednesday.
Yeah. You're probably still not recovered as well. Yeah, it's lots of factors. But
yeah. So they must have been the best workouts I've had this
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
I've got the most amount of muscle
You're looking
mass.
pretty big today.
Thanks, bro. The one thing that happened to me though is I fucking ate the house out on Saturday and Sunday
Yeah.
because like I didn't eat.
Yeah.
Like, because Steph would be like, "What do you want to eat?" And like, you know, when you're
Nothing.
smashing fucking antibiotics, and, all these tablets and shit.
Yeah.
Like my stomach was just fucked. So I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to eat. So I just
Yep.
didn't eat like barely anything, just trying to like shovel down protein as much as I could.
Yep.
If I could have injected protein into amino acids into my bloodstream, I would have done it.
Yeah.
Just to like at least give my muscles something without having to eat.
Yep.
And then Saturday and Sunday I was just like, I cannot satiate this hunger. It's fucking ate
Send it.
everything.
Yeah. Feels.
All good food, clean
Yeah.
food. So if you eat clean food, doesn't
It's
matter.
fine. As long as it's not
You
white,
can
you'll
eat
be
as,
okay.
as much. You can eat as much as you want as long
white
as it's
food,
clean.
Fine.
Not really
Yeah.
giving people hope here, are we?
So
What's up, guys? Welcome to the STCfit podcast, where we talk about all things nutrition, training, and how to live your best life. If you want some more information about coaching, our free resources, and other fitness-related content, be sure to check us out on our website at www.stcfit.com. All right, let's get to the episode.
we have to go see Ali and do a Pilates session together.
We do.
Yeah.
Sweet. I need to see Ali anyway.
Speaking of sore,
Yeah, I need to see Ali anyway. Like, I don't need to. I just would like to.
After 4 sessions of Pilates,
Mm.
my takeaway is most people would benefit from doing at least 1 session a week
Yeah, no doubt.
on top of their training. I reckon ongoing, I'm going to do 1 a week and then go train, like do my like shoulder and arms session afterwards.
How long is a Pilates session?
45.
Yeah.
And it's 4 minutes walk to the gym.
Yeah.
So, yeah, coordination, control, like spatial awareness, core, all the shit that you like kind of put in your program and either skip or don't, you know what I mean?
We just don't put it
You
in
just
there.
don't put it in. Ticks all of those boxes.
Yeah.
I've done 1. So, so you weren't here last week. Tam, tell me if I'm repeating myself. But my first session was more of like it almost felt like a 45 minutes of mobility work. It was delightful. I left and I was like, oh, my hips feel nice. I have like, you know how we've been talking about like vacuums and trying to shrink our waist and stuff. And like had so much control over my midsection. I was like, I lost weight straight away. Got leaner.
Measurement's gone down, bro.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, that was a very positive experience.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And then the next session I walked in, different instructor. I took 1 look at her. I was like, you go to the gym. You don't just do Pilates.
Yeah.
You don't get hamstrings and glutes like that
Yeah.
and shoulders like that just from Pilates.
Yeah, that needs mechanical tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this will be interesting. So basically they get a series and then they choose how they execute each week.
Mm.
So because it was heavily gym influenced, everything we did was gym stuff. So we were doing like 1 foot on a solid platform, 1 foot on the bed that moves, and squats.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like sliding out.
so you had to try and keep it still, which is very fucking challenging.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. So me being me, can't quarter squat it, bro.
Gotta go
Go
A
a
to
full
G.
squat.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
the whole room was quarter squatting, except for me. Bro, I had to so Amy has this mat that she puts on top of the bed
Yeah.
so you don't slip. I was like, we were doing abs after that,
Yeah.
and you had to like 4-point touch, like kneel on the.
Mm.
I was like sliding off because this thing's just covered in sweat.
Yeah.
I'm like using my fucking shirt and shit, trying to. I'm like,
Oh,
God,
shit.
you look pathetic, but whatever.
Yeah.
Rinsed me.
Wow.
So had to do a lateral lunge with a dumbbell lateral raise with perfectly pink 3 kilo dumbbells.
Mm.
And then rotate as far as you could, which was for me was 90 degrees. while ISO holding the lateral raise.
Yeah, nice.
So, like, if you were
that's
good at
delt
training, bruh. Yeah. So, if you were good at training,
Mm.
it was very tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be a good YouTube video for us to do it.
So Ben saying everyone's going to laugh at me.
No, you'll be all right.
It's all right. I get it.
It's good.
Entertainment. Yeah?
Yeah.
Throwing me to the wolves.
No, it's good.
Last time I did Pilates was the same experience I have with everything that I try new. Like someone just throws
Got
me
hurt?
to the wolves. No, they just fucking pick on me.
Oh, yeah. You're
Yeah.
the biggest
I did
in the room.
Pilates and then it was like...
Have you done
even then-
reformer before?
Even
Or just
then,
on the floor?
oh, it was ages ago. It was like, I think I was studying at the time. So even it was just like, who works out? And I was like, well, I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we're going to fuck you up.
Yeah,
like, because
yeah.
it's like this is hard as gym, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, then I was just like, oh, okay, well, this kind of shit. So I just
Yeah.
never went back.
Yeah, I made sure to like really tell the instructors that I was not expecting much of myself. I was like,
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. You
let's
gotta
see,
do-
let's see if the powerlifter can get through the session.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, 100%.
yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
I think now I'm almost, maybe next week I might be like, all right,
I've clocked it.
fuck me up. Those springs down there, I don't know what you do with them, but fuck me up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm down to give it a go.
but it's fun. And I have a little confession.
Yeah. What did you get?
So we are 7 weeks out from our 5K.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe less. Be 6 now, before by the time this comes out. That's hurting my brain. Pretty much, I ran a little bit up until nationals, and I haven't ran since.
Oh, yeah.
And I had that real good time in the gym and put on like 4 kilos.
Yeah, hyper responder.
It's really hard to locomote.
Yeah, yeah.
really, really hard.
My
My feet,
training
my,
like a bodybuilder and running doesn't
my
really
feet
work
have
out.
about 800 meters in them,
Yeah.
and then they just seize.
Welcome
Okay.
to my life.
Awesome.
You just got to pick up. You just got to pick a path. It's
Yeah.
like,
So I was
immobile
like,
but jacked.
I'm just gonna do one long run last night, and I committed to it,
Yeah,
and I
it's not good.
walked most of it.
Yeah,
Wasn't in a good way. Fitness is there. It's just my feet are like, nah, bro. You're too heavy. I'm
got to
sorry.
get the hockers out, mate. They're fucking 4-inch shoe.
Yeah, not good. Not good. So we'll see. I did want to do like a 27-minute 5.
Is this the run around the racetrack
Yeah.
thing? Yeah, you
Yeah.
can walk it though.
No.
Oh,
I'll die before I stop on the day.
wow.
Yeah, it won't happen. That's just no.
I will die before I stop at like a fun run.
Yeah. That's not happening. There is no
I love
option.
it. I just love that. It's just like a casual fun run. I'll fucking die before I stop. I love
that's
it.
not happening.
Good on you, man.
Yeah.
Good on you.
So the next
It's like these kids running with their family. You look over and see Ben like snarling and shit.
Yeah. Just saying all kinds of shit. Yeah, who's going to carry the boats?
just mumble,
doing this though.
yeah.
Doing this though. Like just follow-
mumbling the boats. It's
like
fucking
yeah,
boats.
it's like I'm
Yeah.
not walking. I'm not walking. This is a fast drop. This is a slow drop. Slow drop.
Mum,
Yeah, look, I might still do 10-minute Ks.
Just do the like. It's all about the bob. It's just
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you bob, with enough rhythm,
Mhm.
it's not walking.
Yeah.
I know because
No.
that's how I run.
Yeah. If my feet can hang on, we're on. But there's a chance that they won't. But I'll just
Yeah.
have to deal with the pain.
Do you reckon you've graduated from that? Like, if you. So sometimes when I feel like I move quickly, and I look back, it's not quick.
Yeah.
Have you graduated from that
do you
phase
move
yet?
quick?
Yeah,
Definitely fucking not. Nah.
yeah. Sometimes
Nah.
even when I swing the golf club, I'm like, oh, that was really fluent and fast, and it was not.
Yeah. Look, I'm prepping Jess for the same run,
Yeah, okay.
and she sends me her numbers every week,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're a fat piece of shit, Ben. Pretty much every week, I just say to her, like, cool, so I'll see you at the start line, and I'll
Yeah.
see you at the finish line.
That's
'cause
it.
That is the only time we're going to be
yeah,
anywhere
yeah.
near each other.
Yeah, you'd be holding her back if you said, "Let's do it together."
Definitely. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
not-
I still remember that. Like, remember when we did that boxing, or like, was it you did that video and you were like hitting the bag? It's like, fuck it. It's like slow.
The weave was the
yeah,
worst.
the wave was like,
The hands weren't actually too bad. It was there was the side step and weave. It was just like, bro, you've been punched 7 times.
Yeah, that was so good. It's like that Simpsons episode where he's like, I've got to knock him. He's like fighting Drederick Tatum, and he's like, I've got to knock him out, and he just throws that really slow punch.
Yeah, but I've seen myself in enough front windows of houses to know that I'm not fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything about it looks like it's hard work.
I like, again, it's like, I like the idea of having a clean house but not doing it. It's the same feeling when it comes to being quick. I like the idea of sprinting and being fast, but the whole doing of it, not about
If I had access to a facility, I'd still be doing the sprint work.
Yeah.
If there was somewhere close to just go to a track, I'd be in.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
The treadmills aren't it, huh?
Nah.
It's not the same.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, I had a really good time doing that. Ran a 16.2 as a 94 kilo human.
Yep. I'm going to start jogging next week so I can lower my metabolic baseline. Drop my weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently that's how
Can't
it
do
works.
the run.
I'm going to do 5.
You can walk, bro.
I'm going to do 5 minutes of jogging before my training sessions.
Yep.
And I've got to try and get 4,000 steps in a workout.
Yep.
So it's like 2,000 walking the gym,
Yeah,
and then 2,000 either side of it.
Yep.
3,000. Yeah, because I've started prepping for our photo shoot.
Yeah, well, that is part of it too. So I haven't prioritized the gym.
Yeah.
Because I've had Pilates and running. But I want to do the photo shoot too.
Yeah. I've started already. I figured it was like November, right? So we're August, September, October, November. So it gives me 3.5 months.
Hey Siri, how many weeks till November 14?
You shouldn't have to think about that, Siri.
14 weeks.
That's it. So I've started now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring my best. I want to do this one. Do that one.
Shreds, bruh.
Yeah, I probably won't get that shredded.
Shredded or just like massive?
No.
What's the
I'll
goal?
get lean. Because we're going into summer.
Yeah.
So the last one I was kind of like big, but like lean-ish.
Yeah.
Now I want to get leaner.
Cool.
Yeah. Going to summer, a little bit lighter.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Got to show these people, and their coach knows a thing or two, can do it himself.
Yep.
I'm that person.
Yeah. I want to just give it I don't want to say last hurrah,
Oh, yeah.
but I just want to give it like a,
Just want to be like in shape.
knowing that the
The dad
next
bod's
6
coming.
months is going to be,
The dad bod's coming, yeah.
yeah, the next 6 months is going to be volatile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my friends came and stayed with us last weekend,
I saw that.
and they were like, oh, just like, I'm like, well, what do you guys want to do? Like, it's obviously, we can go here, we do this, we do that. They're like, oh, the main thing that we want is like to be able to go for a run. I'm like, what? What do you mean? They're like, oh, I just like want to be able to just go by myself, leave the kids behind, and go for a run. Obviously, like, it's pretty an aesthetic place to run.
Yeah.
I'm used to running around Shepparton. And they went at sunset, so it was mad. But I was like, that's pretty cool. And then yesterday, I was saying before, like, I felt real shit in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then went for I was like, sitting on the couch, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go. If I
Yeah.
feel worse, I feel worse. If I feel better, I feel better.
Yeah.
And I came home and felt 100 times better. So I was like, and they use that as like especially like working from home, when they're like, I'm not home yet, I'm going for a run, and then I'm home.
Yeah.
And I like that concept of like the decompress situation.
Yeah.
Go for a run 2-3 times a week and it not be fucking horrible.
Yeah. Well, it's the same as just going to the gym. Like, if I didn't go to the gym, I'd be like a horrible person.
Yeah.
Got to get that sick pump, you know?
Yeah.
Can't start the day without it.
Yeah. I just feel like the run has a lower commitment.
Oh, of course.
You can just be like,
Yes.
even if you've already been to the gym or whatever,
Yes.
it's like, I can just go out for 15 minutes. and I'll
That's the
feel better.
smaller people too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
What are the things?
Take homes. I want to have the DOMS convo. I want to have the DOMS chat.
Okay.
Because, like, I woke up and I was like, I'm fucking so sore. Tam woke up, like, obviously this week he's been battling too. And I know there's people out there that still chase muscle soreness as an effective proxy for a good workout.
That sounds terrible.
It does, doesn't it?
If I was this sore all the time, fuck
Yeah,
that.
man, 100%, 100%. And I know, like I've had a few of my clients. It's like, oh, I'm not sore. You know, like, are my workouts effective?
Yeah.
You know, and I guess like even if you kind of you get told, I feel like some people still fall back into the trap.
Yeah.
You know, like even though there's all these logical reasons why having muscle soreness is not something that we should strive for, like people still fall back into that. Like, yeah, but it's kind of like people use it as like a reward.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
This is tangible.
Yeah, well, and it's I guess like, you know, when you're trying to improve your strength, your physique, maybe more your physique than your strength, because like your strength can increase much quicker than your physique can change.
Yeah,
like you can lift more next week. Like you won't necessarily go into the gym next week and know you're bigger.
Yeah.
You know, like unless you're like, you know, got some fucking machine like DEXA scan or something every week. You know, yeah, I can see from that perspective, like when people have those goals, they want that kind of more immediate feedback.
Yeah.
So then the muscle soreness maybe replaces that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, if I took a week off the gym and then came back to the gym and trained at a level that was way lower than what I've had documented over my period of time and experienced muscle soreness that has been by far the greatest amount that I've experienced in recent time.
Was it a more effective
Does
session?
that mean that those sessions were more effective if we're using muscle soreness as the gauge?
Yeah. So my straight argument, like the easiest way I think for people to conceptualize is D.O.M.S effective. Right now, I have sore mid-back, sore traps, sore calves, sore quads from running. Am I going to be massive from running?
Yeah, but then it's
Fucking
like,
no.
Well, even then it's like, but it's like, oh, so if you got that soreness, like, let's say if you're a runner, right?
Yeah.
So then if you got that soreness, like, it's like, yeah,
Did you work hard enough?
You had a good running session.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
No,
so if I go and train chest and I don't get a sore
I understand.
chest,
Yeah, it's a good
people are
argument.
like, well, did I even train chest hard enough?
Yeah.
You know?
Do you accept nothing though? That's my. I
do.
I like disruption.
Oh, I expect nothing after a certain period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, sorry, not nothing, but like nothing that's like really without going to find it. So noticeable without going to find it. So let's just say like, you know, after a period of time. So next week I'll have a tiny bit of soreness, I would assume, and then after that it'll be gone.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of where I want to be. So after I train my chest, for example, in 2 weeks' time, the only time I would experience some form of like disruption or perturbation or whatever is like, just say like I stretched my arm out a little bit, like after the sessions and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of feel a tiny bit, but it wouldn't be like the other day I rolled over in bed and my whole body was just swelling. It was just like convulsing. And I was like, I'm fucked. Like today is gonna be a bad day. And I didn't want to get out of bed and you know, I was just sitting down all the time, you know. So yeah, like I think just moving forward, it's like a tiny bit is like, you know, you touch it or, you know, you put your arm above your head and you feel your lats stretch and you're like, oh, you know, it's like
that's what I lean on.
But it's nothing that's like noticeable, just operating normally.
Yeah, I like the idea that if I went to train the same muscle group again,
you couldn't do it
straight away. I'd know that I trained it the day before.
Yeah.
At least until the end of the warm up.
Yeah.
Because the most recent program I wrote was like, it's vertical upper, horizontal upper, and they're back to back.
Oh, yeah.
So coming into the day, it's like, oh, fuck, like chest is still a little bit sore, and now I've got a pressing motion that's still got a little bit of peck in it. It's like, oh. But once you're warmed up, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's my post-session, like next day, was the workout successful? Yeah. It's like if I train chest and then I put my arm across my body, I want to know. It's like, oh yeah, that feels different than it did if I hadn't trained it.
Yeah.
But it's not a soreness. It's just it's almost like a pump that's hung around. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like not fully recovered, but not like ridiculously kind of sore and swollen.
Yeah, and I don't think that I could perform exactly the same. I couldn't do the same session and get the same outcomes.
Yeah.
In terms of volume intensity.
Yeah, so then you go down that spiral of like, well, what is having that degree of soreness kind of like do to you?
Yeah, make you shit.
So I would argue if you go and search for post-workout DOMs, like you would have to really fuck yourself up.
Yeah.
You would have to put yourself in a situation where you're not recovering efficiently.
Yeah.
And causing way too much muscle damage.
Yeah.
And the flow-on effect of that is your next workout sucks.
Yeah.
Because like
your steps are lower, your sleep's
you
interrupted,
don't move
your
as
stress
much.
is high.
Yeah, that's it. You don't move as much. You don't sleep well. Like there's all of these things that start to like kind of spiral.
Depending how you respond to stress, you either eat too much or not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like I know I've been in a few situations where I'm like, like if I'm sore, I'll just eat more, and it's like it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like your muscles are damaged, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's chemicals that have just eaten away the membranes of your muscle fibers. Like food's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Like you just need time. So yeah, you can just like kind of get into that spiral of just like behavior that doesn't really kind of like sit well long term with the goal.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what's up, guys? So before we move on, just a little bit more information for those people who are curious about coaching. Maybe they want someone to take care of their training, get a bit more specific, take it to the next level, or even just keep them accountable to all of the things that they need to do. So again, you guys can go onto the website, get a little bit more information. It's got all the information on there on what's involved to take your training to the next level. You can hit the inquiry button, and then we'll get on a strategy call and see what we can do for you. When you think about what actually causes muscle DOMs, it's like there's like, what did I look at? There's like 9 different proposed mechanisms at the moment. So where are we at? So we've got these proposed mechanisms of what cause DOMs. Accumulated metabolites in the muscle, hydrogen ions, calcium ions, depending on how you train. Then we have muscle damage, which is chemically mediated, not mechanically mediated. Yeah, because if it was mechanically mediated, you would get sore instantly.
Yep.
But you don't, because there's a period, and they've even done biopsies of muscles where post-session there's no muscle damage. And then like I think it was like an hour or 3 hours later. So that would suggest that like, the calcium ions that get trapped inside the muscle that don't kind of come out start to kind of like eat away at the it's some fancy fucking name for the muscle. Let's just call it that for now. Muscle fiber inflammation. So the actual muscle fiber itself gets inflamed. Connective tissue damage, inflammation, and swelling. So we don't really think about that. And I guess like depending on how you train, like most bodybuilders especially, and even like strength athletes, like they lift real heavy. And that puts the biggest amount of strain on the connective tissue. And I guess that's where like people may argue that like the high rep training versus the low rep training, like the high rep training won't create that degree of damage and swelling to the connective tissue. So, but then it causes more fatiguing mechanisms elsewhere. So it's like, fuck, like it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. But
I read some stuff from Menno ages ago that sort of outlined how much longer the recovery cycle was for connective tissue compared to muscle
I think he
tissue.
just reposted that because it did pop up in my feed the last couple of weeks.
This is years ago because you were talking about like fatigue accumulation for the prime lifts. Because there's so much connective tissue fatigue from something like a deadlift and a squat. So people think it's CNS and it's not. It's just your connective tissue is fucking cooked. So your body's like, you're not having access to this strength today because we're not recovered and you're going to hurt yourself. So that's that high rep, low rep, and even frequency model too. Like if you're going to train really high frequency, you can't be considerate of like don't put heavy barbell rows the day after low bar squats and shit like that. If it's heavy, compound over a week.
Fucking oath.
It's a big consideration.
I found that high frequency method maybe works a little bit better with like high and low rep stuff. You know what I mean? Like you'll do like a couple of heavy sessions and then you got to do a couple of high rep sessions. So that you kind of mix the tension on the connective tissue more than the muscle. But I haven't done that in a while. The whole high frequency kind of training.
Well, like if you look at a powerlifting split, it's sort of like the way I tend to do it is like heavy squats and then there might be quad work the next day, but it's the high rep stuff. So it's not relying on the connective tissue as much.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good programming. So there's more. So we got neurotrophic signaling. So it's like basically like the nerves and stuff getting like compressed and stuff, and
Yep.
inflammation and stuff coming from those. These are all proposed, so like
Yeah,
don't come at me with your pitchforks and stuff. Oxidative stress, obviously, because that's what happens as a byproduct of like muscular contractions and whatnot. And then muscle, spindle, nerve damage. So the muscle spindle is like just runs like adjacent to the muscle fiber that gets compressed as well when it gets exposed to mechanical tension, and then the muscle fiber changes length and stuff.
Yep.
So that can obviously get its own kind of damage as well. But if you look at all of these mechanisms would affect your ability to perform the next day,
Yes.
the next time,
Yeah,
immediately after the session.
Yep.
And even if we look at, say, like recovery time post-training, or looking at what happens after a workout, it's like there's an elevation in muscle protein synthesis to repair the muscle tissue back to its baseline. Even just looking at like SRA curves and stuff like that, it's like you're going into that session to cause some form of disruption, and then you want to have a period of time where the body can get itself back to that previous baseline, and then a period after that where you want it to exceed that baseline to create a new level of performance, muscle mass, strength, whatever.
Yep.
So if you bury yourself in that disruptive period, right, by trying to push all of these things, you're never really giving yourself a chance to kind of get back to, you're kind of always just digging yourself into that hole, right?
Yep.
Like you're just never kind of allowing yourself to get out. And then one of the biggest, I guess, like penny drops for me when it come to this kind of stuff was like your body actually gets better at doing movements and creating less muscle damage, right? It's called the repeated bout effect. So the more times you do things, the less, kind of bad shit occurs in the body itself, and the body starts to learn how to perform and get better through the exercise. So if you take that and you know that like we've got to take this progressive mindset to training, it doesn't happen in a linear fashion, but over a longer period of time, we've got to get better. Doing the same things over a period of time would allow you to do that. That's going to create less muscle damage. That's going to allow us to perform better. We're going to put ourselves in a better position to recover, which would to get results, which would mean that we would be in a situation where we'd experience no muscle damage at all. No muscle DOMS at all.
Yep.
That makes more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And even just anecdotally, it's like the most progress I've made is like, or like when I get really good amounts of progress, and even like when I see large amounts of progress with my guys, they're not really reporting that they're experiencing large amounts of muscle DOMs and stuff. Mm-hmm. It may be like the first, say, 1 to 2 weeks of the program, but that's because we've changed motor patterns and you've changed. There's an exposure. There's new exposure to new tissues, and there's like I said, that repeated bout effect isn't in play there. Mm-hmm. But then after that, it kind of peels away. It's like, it's not to say that they don't make their progress beyond that. They make progress. Most people make the best progress in the last 20-30% of their program. Yeah. Because they've gone past that initial stage of like, we always talk about like skill acquisition, this repeated bout effect happening, like agonist, co-agonist activation, kind of like changing, prime mover getting more tension, the supported muscles get less tension. It's like all of that stuff leans into DOMS not being an effective proxy for a good workout. Yeah. So then the question begs, what are the proxies that we should be looking at for a good workout?
Very good question.
So what would you...
We have a good article for that.
We do have a great article for it.
So what would you... I know. So what would you rank... So you're somebody who goes into the gym and gets upset or questions their effectiveness of their training because they didn't achieve their DOMs. Yeah. Where would you want that person to avert their attention to?
Performance metrics.
Performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do more than last week?
Yeah.
Because even if you sandbag your first 2 weeks, if you do more than last week for long enough, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And then you just get better at the first week.
Yeah.
I think over time. And that is like the underlying, like if I do a client check-in, that's the first thing I look at.
Yeah.
What was your accumulated volume for the week? did you lift more than last week?
Yep.
If you did, we're good. If you didn't, we're not good. Like
Yeah.
that's, and then everything else comes after that.
Yeah.
Why? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, from a less analytical point of view, from a less coaching view, like I said, I like to know the next day that like I can feel the thing that I trained. Like it feels, for lack of a better term, disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
That's over the session, over the week. Did you do more?
Yeah, I think like even if you, to add another layer to the performance, I would also like obviously want to rank my effort.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what kind of effort did I give into that session? Like, like this week the effort was not there.
Yeah.
But it was purposeful. I mean, like it felt hard, but I know I could do more.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like that.
Just the cost.
It's like the perceived exertion was high,
Yeah.
but my body's ability to exert was low.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So that's where that whole like, it's like I was so far away from RIR, but my RPE was high.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's that whole
Yeah.
kind
That's
of
a good way to put it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where those scales of effort can coexist. It's just like how many fucking variables do you put in a program, man?
Yeah.
It's like so you put RPE 10, but your RIR at 4. Like
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah. I look at that too. Like my average, this is my strength books gives us the
your perceived exertion for the workout.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is sick. I love
Session
that.
effort. That's something that I look at a lot, and it's like you can tell some people just put 8 all the time. It's like actually think about it because it's actually an important stat.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
if your volume load's not going up and your perceived exertion staying the same, work harder.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Or like if your perceived exertion goes up all of a sudden,
Yeah,
we need to know. Or if it's going down, that's
100%.
a positive, but it probably means that there's more room
100%.
to turn the dial up.
Especially when you got the other metrics as well. It's like if the sleep's poor and the RPE is high, but the training performance is low,
Yeah.
then it's like
Yeah.
we didn't progress.
Start finding the culprit.
Yeah, we have to dive a little bit deeper then.
Yeah.
It's like, all of this stuff gives us information. It's like turns us into Rain Man and we can kind of fix your problems, guys.
Yeah.
It's not just cool shit that like we just do
Useless
for the sake of
data.
it. Yeah, it's like it's
Look
all
at this
there.
cool app that writes things down.
Yeah, it's all there for a reason. It's like what was I saying to someone the other day? I was like, everything we do is hypothetical,
Yeah.
right? Like we're always like, it's probably this,
Yeah.
and
So change this and see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't have, so usually with a hypothesis, like you'll come at that with like really, really, really good logic.
Yeah.
So the less logic you have, which is the less data points for us.
Mm-hmm.
So like your RPE is not real. Like they just go 8. So it's kind of hard, not hard, hard. So kind of something. Their readiness.
Ben won't yell at me if it's an 8.
He won't call me out. He won't call me out for being a bitch. Yeah, but he won't tell me I'm overshooting.
Yeah.
The readiness scores are like 3s across the board at 5 or 3.5s out of 5s. You know, and everything else is kind of just like there. That's creating a really weak hypothesis for your coach to suggest this next move for us is going to accelerate your results.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a tangent, but like makes or breaks the effectiveness of the coaching.
Yeah, it is a tangent, but it's not, because it's like the people who are worried about DOMS, the lens is too zoomed in.
Yeah, they're majoring in minors.
Yeah, it was, like sometimes people ask questions that the gap in knowledge that's shown by asking the question becomes really challenging to even answer the question.
Yeah.
So it's like, what exercise should I do for my glutes?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the gap between your perceived knowledge from that to where you want to be to actually understand what it is involved in growing glutes.
Yeah.
Is too far almost. It's like, okay, I can give you a subjective answer and say like hinge, extend, squat. Like,
Yeah.
And sometimes you can tell they're just not doing enough.
Yeah, and then then it's like, okay, so the next layer to that is like volume, train shortened range, train lengthened range, train multiple times per week, be in a caloric surplus, sleep enough.
Yeah.
Like take it to enough proximity of failure. Stop doing finishes that feel good. Like, how big do we fucking build this thing to answer what was an innocently short question just because they don't understand the gap between what they're asking and what we consider when we
All the
answer a
moving parts
question
of
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
So when you say like, I'm not sore, that's just a representation of your understanding of the overall package that goes into performance improvement, hypertrophy, etc.
Yeah.
Like it's just showing like you
Just where you
don't have a grasp of all the moving parts that happen here,
Yeah.
and you've just attached yourself to a metric which, of all the metrics, is probably not a terrible one, because it's like it's making you train hard. And if you're chasing soreness, you're chasing work ethic and chasing rep and reserve, chasing high RPEs.
Yeah.
Like the intent is probably a positive there.
Yeah.
But as you become more aware, and obviously what we try and do with our clients, because we kind of preach this autonomy over dependency model.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so soreness isn't the thing. It's progressive overload. It's what's data, what's improving, what's not improving. It's measurements, it's photos, it's progression over time, it's load on the bar, it's reps, it's total volume, it's recovery, it's all of these things that are part of it. And actually, usually what happens is like, hey, you had a few weeks off. We've got 2 options. I can ease you back in for 3 weeks and you won't be as sore, or you can just fucking deal with it for a week and then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest conversation I've had about soreness in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do you want to suffer a lot for a short time or a little bit for longer?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. The only other proxy that I think would be a valuable, not the only other, but another valuable proxy I think would be...
Sorry, I just went on the biggest tangent.
No, that's all right. I was like trying to bring this back. Is in under that performance is how you performed.
Yeah.
So like how you did your reps, so your technique within those sets, and you can review that performance in the session. You can give yourself a bit of a review after that whole workout of like, how did I perform today overall with my movements themselves. And you can also do that set to set, and you can also do that rep to rep. You know, you and I would make that evaluation every single rep we do. It's like, rocks too forward on this one. Chin position wasn't here. Didn't posture up through the chest when I rode back. Like, there's an assessment criteria that when you become an advanced lifter, like you would do in space at that given immediate time. You might film your sets afterwards. One of the reasons why we do that, which we advocate, is like, it might feel hard, but did it look it?
Yeah.
So like my last 2 reps on that row that I filmed on Instagram yesterday, I was like, these are like half range of motion.
Yeah.
And they're so slow.
Yeah.
And they were.
And they were fine, yeah.
Like it was like, 90% of the range of motion, and the speed was pretty good.
Yeah.
So it was like...
Talking to powerlifters in that too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because it feels slow.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's
what,
like...
what you can see versus what you feel sometimes is like, put your feelings in the bin.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. And then, so that you can obviously like again go, all right, like, you know, reference points and like, you know, range of motion for the exercise, acceptable range of motion too, which is like, you know, what are you willing to let go of? Like, what are you willing to kind of like, you know, let go of as you fatigue? Because I don't really subscribe to like not performing. Like, you know, you got this whole standard range of motion, and it's like once you can't meet that whole standard range of motion, you should stop.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's really that valuable for an advanced trainee. It's like, what if they can get 75% of that rep? What if they can get 50%? Like, what if they need to kind of do a couple of, use a little bit of momentum to get a couple out? Like, is that really that value? Like, is that giving someone a disservice? And, you know, maybe they need to do that in the last, like, kind of couple of weeks of their program, just kind of get a little bit more kind of stress and stimulus on the muscle. Like, I don't know.
Again, it's that I haven't used it for a couple of weeks.
Here we go.
Once you know the rules, you can break them.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's like, as PTs, we have this good intention of everyone has to have perfect form and move really well and be under control and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, if you can lift your elbows a little bit during your last 4 reps of bicep curls and you get an extra 4 reps, you still did more work net on the biceps.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yeah, so you did more work on the biceps. Yes, like, you know, front delts probably worked a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's like...
If you're swinging from rep 1,
correct.
that's shit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and this is the hardest thing, and you start to put your... I don't want to say consumer, but like general gym goer hat on, and you're like, fuck, man. Because like someone who interprets perfect complete access to range of motion at all times for all reps, their rep in reserve and their failure looks different.
Yeah.
So bicep curl, for example, if my elbows have to stay locked just in front of my hip so I maintain constant tension throughout the bicep for the entire rep, even maybe pushing my wrist into extension a little bit so the barbell stays out in front of me, creates extra tension at the elbow, like that's a perfect rep. Getting to failure there is one thing. Getting to failure and allowing the elbow to move a little bit at the very end is another thing.
Yeah.
Letting the bar stop for 3 seconds at the bottom of the rep and then going again. It's like there's heaps of coaches that I see all the time. It's usually like on a hack squat or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is fucking real training to failure. It's like, but who said?
Yeah.
What? And if I'm a client, I'm like, well, what even is failure?
Yeah.
If I'm doing a set tempo for every rep and I can't stand up again, is that failure? Or is it, no, I can't stand up again, so I take a 3 second break and then I do it again. And then next week I take a 4 set. It's like,
you got to set the task, right?
Fuck.
you almost like, to go down that rabbit hole, it's just like, this is, the task is this.
Yeah.
And if you can't meet this task, this is failure.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you can't maintain a 4 second eccentric and a 1 second concentric, like you've now experienced failure, but it doesn't mean you've experienced total muscle failure because you could speed up the reps. You could have a pause. Like you could, do other things where you could get to the point where literally like you can't actually perform anything, which would be like you'd get halfway up and just drop. Yeah. That's like muscles don't work no more.
Abort.
Yeah. Nervous system says no. So
like I said, the question of like, how do I grow my glutes thing? When you start to layer all of these things in, you can just really see like how hard it would be for people that do think like building muscle comes from soreness. Yeah. I had a good session because I'm sore. Like you could see.
Yeah, but I think it's still a symptom and a hangover from thinking that muscle damage was a major contributor for muscle growth. Like I said, like, they were looking at post-workout protein synthesis rates, and there's this, acute elevation post-workout of this elevation in protein synthesis, and they were like, oh, so this means muscle damage would have a correlation to muscle growth because we're damaging the tissue during the session, and we're getting this blah blah blah. But what it is or what it's proposed is that it's your body trying to get you back to that hypothetical baseline because it doesn't stay there. It drops off.
Your 24-hour and 7-day MPS.
You get this huge peak and then it comes down. And it stays obviously like for a little bit longer than anything else. Like if you did any other activity that like increases your muscle protein synthesis, but like post work. So then they were like whatever. So then you had all these people, and like we used to kind of talk shit about certain individuals that preach this like more muscle damage, more muscle growth. Yeah, and it just like kind of really doesn't make any sense now when you think about it. It's like you break something down and you continue to break it down even more. Who's suggesting that means that it's going to go like way up? Yeah. Like way up beyond, the baseline.
Especially for a natural athlete.
Correct. Yeah. And then when you look at what seems to be the main driver now is mechanical tension. It's like, even like, the metabolic stress thing, it's like, metabolic stress happens when you expose your muscles to mechanical tension. So it's like, how valuable is that one really? Possibly, and there's possibly pathways that will help increase muscle size, but it seems to just be like mechanical tension is the goat. Yeah. So if we know that like we have this muscle damage and there's this period where our body's trying to recover, wouldn't the goal be to make that window as short as possible so that you can now start making gains? Yeah. You know what I mean? So you would almost want to experience as less muscle damage as you potentially could in a workout, whilst exposing your muscles to
load,
to mechanical tension, all muscle fibers. So high threshold like motor units, even the low threshold ones. If you get the high threshold ones, you're going to get the low ones anyway. And then give your body a chance to go through that cycle, but then go, cool, we're recovered because there's not a lot of muscle damage. Yeah. Let's use this elevation in protein synthesis that we've got from the session to now use the protein, to now use the calories, to now use the recovery time to make more tissue.
Yeah.
And I think that's where now we're seeing this logical right now push towards high intensity, low volume training for advanced trainings.
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So,
yeah, it's almost like programming then becomes how do I explain this? So each exercise has a sweet spot of load and intensity and where you can achieve that, if that makes sense. So a prime lift, for example, your ability to achieve max mechanical tension in that prime lift with the least amount of potentially muscle damage is probably in that 3 to 5 rep range.
Yeah, 4 to 6. Yeah, 3
so
to
like
6.
if you're squatting, and I've done this for ages and not really been able to rationalize it well. It just didn't make sense to me. Like squatting for 8s for hype or even for strength. I'm like, it's shit for skill. Most people are just gassed and they're not actually reaching a level of output that's useful for them.
They're not conditioned and their brain's telling their body to stop.
Yeah.
It's not their muscles like, we can't do this anymore.
And it's a complex movement that requires lots of thought and all just gets like there's too many layers. Just do less and lift more.
Yeah.
Then you go, well, what about a leg press? It's like, well, if I put what I could lift for 3 on a leg press,
you'll probably blow up.
it's dangerous. You could hurt yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's the conversation we had at the start of the workout. It's like that now places too much stress on the structure of the body and not the muscle.
Correct. So now it's like, well, it makes more sense for a leg press to probably 6 to 8 to 10, right? That would be a nice place to exist to create the most amount of mechanical tension that I can in this exercise.
And then you go up another level and it's like, go to the leg extension.
Yeah.
It's like that's really isolated on a joint.
Do a 1RM on a fucking leg extension. Like, no, sir.
I don't think I do less than maybe 6 to 8 on a... I think 6 to 8 would be the lowest end.
Even 6s. Like, I need a real good leg extension to get 6s.
It's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually 10s, because it's like the machine's not...
Yeah, 8 to 15.
The knee pivot's not quite exactly perfect.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be safer and you're going to recover better from that. So, yeah, I agree. It's like there's like tiers, right?
Yeah.
And the tiers are based off the movement and the stress it places on the body as a whole.
Yep.
So we can't just think about the muscle. We need to think about how's the body going to recover.
Yeah. And then even a step in between that, because we're sort of unpacking all of them, like in strength, pursuing a strength outcome, you have a prime lift, which is usually squat, bench, deadlift, maybe an overhead press, maybe a pull-up, if you wanted to put them in. If you wanted to be an all-round athlete, not just... a powerlifter. Then you have accessories to all of those. So your accessories are things like, if you low bar, it's a high bar, it's a safety bar squat, it's a block pull, it's a deficit deadlift, things that limit load that allow you to train the thing.
Yeah.
That you can still get decent proximity to failure. But really you just maintain the skill and you can train them you can sit on a safety bar, like you can do 8s in there pretty comfortably because it takes a layer of complexity out. Then you've got a more, like, call it a compound lift.
Yeah.
Where we call it like removing a layer of input. So you take, if it's a full body exercise, you're taking out one half of the body.
Yeah.
So in the squat progression, you've got squat, safety bar squat, then you would go to like a split squat. So like load's just in your head, it's dead. You don't have to do a lot with it. You just focus on the lower limbs to do the work. Then you go into a forced position movement, which is the leg press. Then you go into an isolation movement, which is the extension.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that all of those exercise selections have incrementally higher rep ranges based on the connective tissue exposure, your ability to create
of the exercise,
ability to create muscular tension or mechanical tension inside the movement, how much load you can use, how long you can sustain it systemically as well. Because like I would argue doing a squat is way fucking more taxing than a leg extension. Yeah. So you can stay in the leg extension for 60 seconds. It doesn't matter. So yeah, it's cool how you see that stuff play out over and over. And it's like, oh, the complex exercise down to the simple exercise that you wrote because it's there's going to be brain fatigue throughout the workout.
Yeah, well, the complexity of the exercise is going to cause
reduction in performance.
CNS fatigue, the complexity of the exercise, my understanding would cause CNS fatigue. And then as you get more fatigued in the workout, that CNS fatigue is going to prevent you from activating certain muscle motor units, which have control of spindles of muscle fibers, which means that that's going to make you perform in a certain way over that session.
Yeah. And then you move away from physiology and go to psychology. Your psychological intent at the start of your workout and your drive is going to be higher than probably at the end of your workout.
Yeah.
So do you want to be under the complex, heavy-ass load at the end of your session or at the start of your session? Probably at the start.
Yeah.
So then it all just overlaps, and you're like, everyone pro at the top, if I can put myself in that category, I think I write good programs.
I'm at the top.
Most people are writing similar shit.
Yeah.
Is the point I'm trying to make.
Like, it's all effective, simple programs where the difficulty is based on how hard the lifter trains.
Yeah. It's so interesting when you boil it down like that. And it's just like you can get so down into those nuances.
Yeah.
Like here's 9 reasons why you have DOMS.
Yeah.
And then you boil it all out and it's like, this is what you should do, which is the thing that the guys were doing in the 80s.
Yeah.
I love when that comes together like that.
Yeah,
it's cool.
yeah. Where are we for time, Tam? Or
About an hour.
Yeah, just over.
That's all right. I was going to start opening up another can, but it's all good.
Tam,
he's like, thanks, bro. He just gave me the thanks, mate.
Yeah. He's got ages now.
I was like, you can go either way.
He's got 15 days to edit this one now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, it's all good. No.
That doesn't make it easier.
It saves me content for the next one.
Yeah.
Just pushes the stress back.
Leave it in the...
I think an hour's good.
Put it in the podcast notes in your phone.
That's it. Got it.
Where it lives.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah. As always, guys.
Note pages are full by now.
I am a podcaster now because even during the week, I'll
thinking about it.
I'll make notes, or if I'm in the shower and I get some inspiration, I'm like, the shower is a really productive place.
I meant for this one.
We're talking about the shower in the Learn episode.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about just
take homes from this episode. People's notes will be full now.
Oh, yeah. You'd hope so.
Yeah. So, Tam, because it's actually quite deep in the blog section on the website,
yes,
could you please add the measuring training session success article to the notes?
Very good article, guys. So if you do want to unpack that a little bit more.
A month to write. Go read it, you dogs.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. I reckon if you're an intermediate lifter, there's enough information in there to take you into that advanced threshold. Because it gives you that awareness of like what you should be thinking about.
In the article, we actually even break it down into what you should be thinking about when you're doing a strength movement, a skill movement, and a hypertrophy movement, because they're all slightly different.
Agreed. So yeah, check it out. All right. As always, if you like the episode, share it, tag us, give us a follow, subscribe, do the thing, do the thing, support, show other people just like you the message, and we'll see you guys next time.
The share button's on the bottom of Spotify now. Don't screenshot it, or the screen be black.
Listen to Ben. See you next time, guys.